All right, the last lesson for the chapter is on something called an annuity. Basically, an annuity is a savings account into which equal deposits are made at regular intervals. So you guys have learned about loans. Loans is where you have to borrow money and you pay it back with interest, so the banks are making money. Annuities, they're kind of great because this is the way for you to make money. One thing, if I look at this definition, one key thing about an annuity is going to be this equal deposits right here. When equal deposits are made, you're making the same deposit over and over for a number of years. You guys have seen another formula called compound interest back from 7.1. When compound interest is making, a deposit is made also, but that's a one-time deposit. And so the difference, you're going to have two formulas for deposits, one-time deposit versus equal deposits or multiple deposits. So it's going to be an annuity if you're making the same deposit over and over. You saw the loan table. You're going to have an annuity table, which will have a column for the interest that's being earned on the account. So you have to calculate the interest. So we're going to say that I equals PRT. Again, the next slide is going to show you the table. So here's what an annuity table will look like, and you'll have a video to watch for this, but just to give you a heads up about it, you can see that for 6 months we're going to deposit $50 every month. So we know that we will have, for sure, $300 into the account, and what you're going to figure out with an annuity table is the interest that the account earns. So as you keep depositing more money, you're going to be earning more interest on the account because your balance is increasing. So when you do an annuities table, it's this very last box right here. That total amount will give you, the total amount for what the account is worth. I think in the loan, it equaled 0 in the end. That's not going to happen this time. So it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and there's where you'll see the total amount that the annuity account has earned. All right, so your loans had a nice big formula. Same thing with annuities, nice big formula. So if you have to find the balance of an increase in annuity, again, annuity is where you're making the same deposit over and over. We're going to have this nice formula right here. You'll definitely want to pause this, get this written down in your notes. But just to go through some of the variables for a second, that A out front, that's the balance of the annuity after however many years. D is going to be that the deposit that you're making. What's the deposit you're making over and over again? Equal periodic deposits, it says. That's going to be the amount being deposited. We see I again. This time I, instead of being rate divided by 12, it's going to be your rate over N, where N represents the number of times per year deposits are made. Maybe you're making monthly deposits or quarterly deposits, so you'll have to look at the example for that. And then we've got our annual interest rate again, and number of years deposits are made. So you'll see a video for how to find the balance of an annuity, and that's the formula that will be used. Here we have an example for calculating the total amount of money in an annuity. There's a video for it, so I'm not going to go through it now, but I just want to give you a heads up and show you what it might look like. In this example, it says you're planning for retirement. You deposit $500 quarterly, so that means 4 times a year you're going to deposit $500 into an account. Oh, and it says into an annuity. So when they have the word annuity, there's a nice clue that that's what we're talking about. But also that $500 quarterly, that's the multiple deposit. So we know we're talking about an annuity versus a one-time deposit. You've got your annual interest rate, and it's going to be compounded quarterly for 45 years. So what you can figure out is if this is your plan, if you plan to put in $500 4 times a year for the next 45 years, how much money will you have for retirement? So they're looking for that total amount. So there'll be a video to go through this, and we'll practice this in class also, but these are the kinds of problems we look at for calculating the total balance on an annuity. All right, this last slide is talking about, here's that formula that you put down in your notes about calculating the balance of an annuity. Sometimes you may have a goal amount in mind. If we look down at this problem for a second, it says you want to be a millionaire when you retire. What monthly deposits will produce a balance of $1 million after 45 years? So if you know how much money you want to have in the account in the end, if you have that goal amount in mind, and you have to figure out what the deposit is, well, that's this D. That's what they're trying to figure out. So you could plug everything in and solve for D, or we'll just give you the formula already solved for D for you. So that's what this other formula is. It's solved for the deposit, where the A, the balance of the annuity, if you know how much you want to be in the account after so many years, you're going to have that number to put in right there. So both formulas will be given to you. They are the exact same formula, just one is solved for the A, one is solved for the D, but just all that solving was already done for you. So if you're trying to figure out what the deposit should be, we're going to use that formula. So again, loans, that's where you take out money and you pay it back with interest, so the bank gets to keep the interest. Annuity is where you do make deposits, you put money in, but all that money is yours, but you earn interest and you get to keep all the interest. So an annuity is a way for you to make money, and that's very exciting.